All right, let's get this thing started. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Coming up here, we talk about what's going on. Jamie Hayter versus Chris Stanley, the Owen Women's Cup. Who's going to meet Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing? We'll find out. Also, two tag team matches as Brody King and Will Ospreay are in action against Josh Alexander and Takashi. Take you know who I hate to say his name, but I don't want to take it. You know what? We'll talk about that coming up. Also, too, in tag team action, Kevin Knight and Speedball Mark Bay, they're newcomers to AEW. They take on the EVPs and the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks show them some. Young Bucks get a win over the newcomer. We'll find out coming up. Well, as FTR returns, and FTR has something up their sleeve. We'll talk about it here. Won't believe when FTR is going to bring in their sleeve. Also, too, hip hop legend. They're going to be in New Orleans. None other than hip hop legend Master P on Dynamite. It's like WCW all over again with Master P. Make them say, oh, na 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 na. Who can remember that Master P? Plus, on Wrestling Hot Topics, we unfortunately was going to report that Mongo McMichael was going to be in hospice care, but we just found out, unfortunately, he passed away. Hours before we was going to, say he was in hospice. We'll talk about on Wrestling Hot Topics as well as a lot. Let's get the Pro Wrestling Show started here and right now with hip hop legend Master P. 299. Make them say, oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling. This is the AEW Dynamite Ring Report, better known as the AEW Ring Report. We may bring Collision back soon, or Collision Ring Report, so we can have it all in one. So we had canceled quietly Collision Ring Report, but now we might bring it back. So look for that coming back if things go a little bit more in tune. But hip hop legend Master P didn't waste no time. Born and bred in New Orleans, Master P right here coming to AEW. This is Master P first time. You never imagine Master P nearly 20 years, nearly almost 30 years ago. He appeared on World Championship Wrestling. I can remember it to the day back in 1999. Master P has No Limit Soldiers against the Kurt, him and Mr. Perfect, West Texas Rednecks. They were singing country music, and the Master P was singing the Na Na Na. I want to watch that back and see WCW Day. But it was amazing seeing Master P back. Master P back with the Ops kicked off the show, and Master P felt right at home in New Orleans. Make them say, Powerhouse Hobbs and all of them. Until we saw right here the Death Riders attack the Ops and Powerhouse Hobbs, New World 6-man tag team champions. Attack Master P just standing in the way. Master P saying, what's going on? What's going on? Master P, crazy. But who knows about Master P? One thing about Master P know how to bring attention to himself. But the Ops, Samoa Joe pinned John Moxley last week to perhaps earn himself a world championship match, because Samoa Joe, a former AEW champion, bring the title back home. He'll get it in 2 weeks on Dynamite on Beach Break in Chicago with the World Championships online. Can Moxley survive Samoa Joe and put an end to Samoa Joe? That's going to be the question. What's going on with Mox? But Mox really got a lot on his plate, so we'll see. But the Ops had him back. But Master P, man, Master P came out there, man. It was like Master P gonna be doing a hip hop concert, but Master P gonna be out and about. So Don't look for Master P coming his way sooner rather than later. I can tell you that right now. Well, the Young Bucks came out there. The Young Bucks came out there. They got unfinished business with this man right here. All of them are executive vice president. Ken Omega did not forget what the Young Bucks did to him a couple of years ago. Ken Omega wanted to get that revenge and get that prize for me. He may get that revenge down the road, but the Bucks, they were in action tonight. The Bucks looked like they was going to be ready to go. The Young Bucks went against the new A-comers in AEW, Kevin Knight and Speed Mike Bailey, who may make a difference down the road. I'm surprised they don't have like a they probably be secondary champions. One probably be a world champion, but they're here against the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, Kevin Knight from New Japan and Speedball Mike Bailey just coming from Impact TNA. So with that issue and stuff, the Bucks really try to do some work on Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, even on the outside onto Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey took that maneuver. But the Young Bucks won their match tonight. The Young Bucks defeated Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, who did their best, but it just wasn't enough. Speedball Mike Bailey and the Bucks, what's going on with that? But you said all that issue was. Well, we get to more as Christian Cage having his confrontation with Nick Wayne. Christian and Nick Wayne, you know they don't like each other. What's going on? They used to be cool, but now it just went left and sideways. I can tell you that right now. Between them, there was a lot going on with that. But Christian kind of like wants Mike Bailey. I mean, Christian wants a lot. Christian wants you know who to kind of get it together, or things ain't gonna go right in that family. But hell, we'll see how that's gonna be. Speaking of that, the women's champion Tony Storm gets a challenge from Queen Alamala. Queen Alamala wants to challenge Tony Storm, and they'll have a match, an upcoming match on Collision. We don't know when it'll be, probably this week or not. We'll see. Speaking of that, tag team legends, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, of the Rock and Roll Express won tag team championships across the NWA. They made an appearance tonight. The Rock and Roll Express, we kind of knew they was into someone was going to do something to them, and we just knew who was going to be. The Rock and Roll Express came out there, and all of a sudden, Stoney Hathaway is back. Stoney Hathaway back, and he announced that he is managing FTR. FTR, what they did to Edge, leaving Edge out, but the Rock and Roll Express got in the way, and they just attacked the Rock and Roll Express. It's like the Rock and Roll Express just come and just get their butt beat by somebody like FTR or somebody, Young Bucks or somebody who kind of similar to their tag team style. The Young Bucks are more similar. The Rockers, you know who, and now the FTR are more like Arn and Tully back in the late 80s. I can tell you that right now, but things are differently now. But the Rock and Roll Express took that beating, and they really did. I think they're kind of like the Healers tag team along with the Bucks. What's going on with that? Well, the Hurt Business. They say they like to hurt people. MJF is trying his darnest to get into the group. We don't know why MJF wants to be in the group. The Hurt Business is not interested, especially Lashley. Lashley does not want nothing to do with MJF, but MJF wants to do everything with Lashley. Lashley saying, "Hey man, we don't want to be. We don't want you in the group." Shelton Benjamin don't want to be in the group. The only person that wants them in the group is you know who, MVP. MVP's trying his best. Even MJF is bribing them by giving them like expensive cars. He gave Bobby Lashley an expensive car, like Lashley really needs it. He really don't. But Lashley took the car anyway and drove off in the car. And Lashley still saying he's still not in the group. We see where that thumbs down. So Lashley is still trying to make MJF mad and pissed off that he's not part of the group. MJF wants his best. I don't know if MJF is doing this as an insurance policy. He needs Lashley as an insurance policy or what. But MJF wants to be in the group, but the group Lashley still saying no. So you see how that's gonna go. But MJF still have his focus and attention on Heyman Page. We don't know how this all gonna play out eventually between these two, but we will wait and see how all this will come around and come around to the bout. We'll see. Well, we get to this right here. We get to tag team action. We saw well we'll get to a minute, but before we get to tag team action, um Mark Briscoe was in action against Ricochet. Ricochet took on Mark Briscoe one on one. Ricochet trying to beat down Mark Briscoe. Ricochet even went online talking about bald head people. I don't know why Ricochet even brought that up. Ricochet doing that, and Ricochet trying to say that till Ricochet got Mark Briscoe got saved by Kevin Knight. I think Kevin Knight and Mark Briscoe are going to have a feud going up. So I think Mark Briscoe, Kevin Knight and Ricochet is going to have a feud because Ricochet is trying to agitate and Ricochet is trying to get the knowledge going about bald headed people or what they do. So Ricochet doing the same thing. I think that I've seen that fan before. We saw how that's going to go eventually for Ricochet, but Ricochet wants bald headed people to get the props and stuff. Well, Swerve Strickland wants a shot at the world championship. He wants to get his hands on the Bucks. And he's trying his darnest to get his hands on the Bucks, but the Bucks keep on trying to run away from the Bucks. Doing what they need to do. Ricochet believes the Bucks cost him his chance to become world champion. He even chased the Bucks away right here. Ricochet want to get his hands on the Bucks, but the Ops and Ricochet and all them really want to do so and do something about it. We'll see if they can, but we'll know that Swerve want to get his hands on the Bucks real bad. You can tell right there, Swerve. Also, too, we had tag team action. Kyle Fletcher and Takeshi to take a you know what were in action. They were in action against who they was in action against Takesha. They was in action. Well, let's say they was in action. I'll tell you that right now. What? You saw who they attacked. We don't know who they attacked, but Takesha and Kyle Fletcher was in that, and Josh Alexander against Brody and somebody else, and they just beat down the whole squad and let them land in the center of the ring. We see Takesha. It looked like the Don Callis family getting stronger. We get like a New Japan takeover now. Takesha, um, we see a lot of people. Trent Beretta, Josh Alexander, a whole list of people. There's a lot of heels. The Don Callis family is growing. Don Callis is expanding his base. We'll see. But when you got Josh Alexander, a former TNA champion, that can do work and do damage, it tells you a lot. I really thought Josh Alexander was gonna go to WWE and join Ethan Page, but I guess that wasn't the case. But hey, Josh Alexander's in. So you'll see. Also, too, well, we got a lot. The LTR, they attacked Will Ospreay, I'm going to say. So, hey, you saw that went down. So, there was a lot going on. And at the end of the night brought, let's see what the end of the night brought. Um, Brought this right here Jamie Hayter taking on Chris Stanley in the women's tournament semifinals. Which one of these two women will go on to meet Mercedes Monet for Double or Nothing in Phoenix? Well, Jamie Hayter defeated Chris Stanley and Jamie Hayter will be going to Phoenix to meet Mercedes Monet in the women's tournament final for the Owen, who's going to get a shot at the women's championship and become the Owen Crown winner. That's the question that everyone wants to know and everyone wants to answer. We'll see between these two women. Um, was that Jamie Hayter won her match over Chris Stanley tonight and did so with ease. All right, that is the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Let's move on to wrestling hot topics. On wrestling hot topics, I want to talk about this serious situation right here. Right here, Mongo met Michael. We was going to do a report that he entered the hospice, but we just found out that Mongo just passed away at the age of 67 years old. Mongo met Michael. Who can forget Mongo met Michael being part of the legendary 1985 Chicago Bears and dominating? Who can forget about the Super Bowl shuffle? The Super Bowl shuffle back in the day with Walter Payton and the rest of them. Maybe Walter Payton is up there in the pearly gates, welcoming his teammate Mongo and perhaps Bobby the Brain. Nearly 30 years ago, he and Reggie White and forgot his name. Um, forgot his name. It'll come up to me. I know Reggie White and somebody else that Mongo was wrestling in WCW and teamed up with. But Mongo was a part of the WrestleMania 11 team with Lawrence Taylor and all them. Mongo played a part playing commentary with Vince McMahon back in the day for that one Raw. I remember. And later on in the month, later on in the year, in September of '95, Mongo became one of the color commentaries on the first edition of Monday Nitro on TNT WCW Wrestling. Mongo Man Michael was that. He was a loud mouth. He let you have it. Man, Mongo Man Michael was all that. Nature Boy Ric Flair made the announcement on his ex that Mongo had passed away. Mongo was supposed to enter hospice care when Mongo said, "You know what? I'm just gonna go." And this was Nature Boy Ric Flair had wrote, "The world just lost the incredible Steve Mongo met Michael. He was my best friend through it all, an amazing athlete and a human being that I have fondest memories working with him. And this is a screaming, heartbreaking loss for me. I love you, Mongo. You fought one hell of a battle. Rest in peace, my friend." And we here, at the Pro Wrestling Show, also want to send our condolences to the family, fans, and friends of Mongo McMichael. May he rest in peace. Well, we go over to the AEW and WWE. Been hearing that Dave Mesler asks, which one of the companies is improving with talent, pushing stars? I think both are. When you look at AEW and WWE, but Dave says that it's WWE due to NXT, which he ain't lying, but hey, we'll that's the thing that everybody wants to see, and everybody wants to know the reach. Well, someone recently did this vendor right here, Master P holding a tag team championship belt with Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs. We can show the render right quick. Powerhouse Hobbs showcasing his championship belt with Master P. And Master P and Powerhouse Hobbs. Master P, we told you earlier, made a living and did so tonight. So good for Master P coming on AEW. Ain't been in wrestling in almost 30 years. This is the new render of the new WWE champion John Cena. Cena claims Sunday and throughout WrestleMania that he was going to ruin wrestling. John Cena made his appearance on the Pat McAfee show, and this is the new render for John Cena holding the WWE championship once again. We'll see what John Cena is going to do, but I don't think he's going to ruin wrestling. I think if you ruin wrestling, you ruin wrestling when you're already in wrestling. Speaking of ruining wrestling, many people like Vince Russo thinks that Triple H is ruining wrestling, trying to do a new Netflix show, taking you behind the scenes on what the creative writers think. So this would be Vince Russo's ultimate thing to know. what the WWE writers do and what their thought process is and their creative process to get execute an idea into a story and then put it in and generate it on TV. That's what Vince Russo. You know he's gonna have a field day with that. I can tell you that right now. And we've heard reports that Triple A champion Del Patron, better known as Alberto Del Rio, may be released from Triple A. He's still their world champion. We don't know if Del Rio is going to be part of that new WWE um, Triple A expansion. We just don't know yet, but we're trying to keep a close eye on it and see what things go with that. This is reported that Alberto El Patron may have been released. All right. We're going to leave you here on the Pro Wrestling Show with this Moxley set to defend the championship against Samoa Joe in 2 weeks. Can Joe win the championship back and become a two-time AEW champion? That's the question we're going to follow and answer. Thanks for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Kendrick Dixon. So long. We'll see you Friday for the SmackDown Ring Report.